Working out some technical difficulties here. Hey, Daisy here. I don't have Gloria with me yet, and for some reason, I don't think I'm streaming to Facebook. Oh yeah, okay, here I am. Yeah, okay, I think we're up on Facebook. Just give me 2 seconds. Edit privacy. For some reason, whenever I post these up to Facebook, they go up as invite only. Okay, public, perfect. Oh, I think I see Gloriane too. Okay, things are looking up here. Hold on, stand by everyone, a couple of seconds, and we'll be good to go. Share now, let people know. All right, so I think I see Gloriane here. We'll just bring her in. It's one of my first times here. There we go. Add to stage. Bonjour. Hello.
Hello. I just go to pick up my teapot because I just
Yeah,
finished my an interview. I'm sorry, I'm late. I was in another interview on StreamYard, and I just changed the link, and I'm there with you. Hello. I'm taking my tea, herbal tea.
I've got my coffee here too. Well, it's great. I'm glad you made it. I was getting a little bit worried, but I went live anyways, and it worked out. Sorry. It's great to talk to you finally. So, I mean, I know a little bit about your story, not so much about your background. So maybe for a lot of my followers probably know your story, especially the ones from Quebec. But for those who don't, maybe you want to start off with your history. I know you used to practice law. Maybe you could give the story of how you got started in your advocacy.
Thank you. And thank you to invite me. I'm so pleased to be with you. I don't know so much you sincerely because when you there was like the trucker in Ottawa, I was doing the first first case in the at the level of appeal about the experimental shoot injection COVID-19. And at the court as lawyer, and I was very, very busy on this case. I was very sad to not be in Ottawa. Then I don't know people in Ottawa, and Stéphane Sévigny just know. I know him just like since since February 20, 2 weeks ago. The one helped me. You met in Ottawa. I never know him because he was in Ottawa, and people know, everybody know him, but not me, and everybody know me in Quebec province, but I didn't know him, and him, he didn't know me so much too. Then it's a person said to me, you have to talk with Chris. They say is in Ottawa. Is like the person is linked with everybody in the English Canada. And I said, oh wow, okay, I would love so much to be in Ottawa, but I cannot move for now for my safety. And I was a lawyer since, is it okay, my English? I'm sorry. Okay, it was my bad.
Oui, c'est parfait.
It was my, I had so difficulties to learn my English. It was my bad matters in high school. I failed my English in high school, and I did a lot of immersion in Nova Scotia, in England, in Maine, to make sure that and my the father of my children are Jamaican, is English speaker, then helped me a lot to talk daily in English. But I'm not. My accent is very terrible. I would just take a.
You're doing great. You're doing great. C'est meilleur que mon français, je pense.
No, it's good. It's good. Then I began to be a lawyer. In 1999, I developed an expertise, a very high expertise in medical malpractice, meaning I represent as a lawyer victim of physician and hospital fault, error.
Yeah, mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I did also during because I started my own law firm because I wanted absolutely to choose the case I represent, because I become to be a lawyer because I wanted justice. I have a very high value, and I keep this value. For me, if I'm in the judicial system, it's it's for justice. If it's not for justice, I don't want to be there. And I also during my my work, I also do. I complete a degree in university degree in. So I will just translate properly in health, law, and policies. And then I'm an expert. I'm a health law expert, and my specialty it's medical malpractice. But also I know I have had class in public health, pharmaceutical law and policies, stuff like that. Like I had class in all, and also I did some a lot of training during my career, 22 years career in as lawyer. I did a lot of like training class, including in International Bar Association. They are in London, in UK, and I did some class in London, in UK. I did one class in like a conference in anti-corruption with expert in anti-corruption and from Paris, Washington, and London. Very, very interesting. It was from the International Bar Association, but it was in São Paulo in Brazil, very beautiful city. And in the same time, I went to watch Coldplay in a show Coldplay in São Paulo. That it was good too. It was pleasant too. And also I went to Chile to do a class and comparative law. In like I was always interested to learn, and to learn, to be able to have the tools, the best tool to represent my client, and to not just represent my client like the case, but to have a wide open and this it was my career. And I get this bar. I'm the only I get this bar from the Bar of Quebec, the 10 March, the March. Yeah, it's 10 March. Oh, okay. I never realized that it's like it's like Sunday. It's 2 years ago. I'm so busy. The March 10, 2 years ago, I get this bar from the Bar of Quebec because they order me a psychiatric examination, and I just offered the proof that I was saying. It was on the two case. I will talk about this later. Just after 2 case, then one, and I give the proof. They didn't want the proof. They order me the psychiatric examination, the Bar of Quebec, without hearing, without inform me. Like
so a psychiatric exam, like they were questioning your sanity, basically. Like hold on, I just want a couple of things. So you practiced law for 22 years before this happened.
Yes.
And did you have any issues with the bar before? Any disciplinary issues, anything like that?
No. But it's begin in the 2 file that I'm talking about. It's begin. Then I will talk about this. Sorry, because I talked like during 1 hour the last time. So,
no problem. No problem. Take your time, and we'll get to whatever we need to.
Then it's begin like the violence, because upon me it's violence from the bar, Syndic. It's called Syndic Bar of Quebec. It's the organization in Bar of Quebec look like about ethic issue. Then it's begin like they sue me the first time in May 2021, in 3 years ago, because I deposit a file with proof, 14 volume of proof, at the Supreme Court of Canada, the highest court of justice in Canada. And it seems that they didn't like. And the point is, what they didn't like, it's I was saying the truth. And I had proof. Okay. And the truth, what is it? The truth that, and the other file that I will talk later, it was about what I were saying, but I may say fastly, because this first file it's like the importance today, and the important the March 11, the hearing that is coming. But the other file is when the Supreme Court of Canada failed to render justice, with even we were touching like the constitutional principle, like the main, like very important, like the Supreme Court of Canada failed July 8, 2021, and at the same date date, they signed the syndic of Bar of Quebec they sue me a second time. I never be sued before 2021, and it was the last sue, the second one, about what I've said about the experimental injection. It's difficult for me vaccine because since the beginning it's difficult for me to see that it's a vaccine. I explain why. It's just a comb. It's not the file that I'm talking, but to understand, it's because the experimental injection. I'm an expert in health law. Okay, just remember. Okay. An expert in health law, a lawyer, doesn't need to know, like, to have the proof at 99% like a physician. We are not in this area. The lawyer has to bring a point of view with some proof, and my proof was quite good eventually. But it's in a democracy. A lawyer, there is no lawyer, no jurisdiction in the world disbar a lawyer upon what I've said about the experimental injection. We are the greatest province, Quebec. I'm ironic to disbar the voice of a point of view of a lawyer. Then it's more than a lawyer. You take off when you disbar a lawyer about the experimental injection. It's you take off the possibility of the citizen to be protected because they don't hear all the point of view. Then it's more than Gloriane Blais. It's you fail to protect the citizen, the integrity of the body, and psychologically integrity of all the citizens. Then this is very bad. Then the experimental injection, what I've said, it's a new technology that never used in general population. This is a fact. There is no conspiracy about this. And the other thing that I have said, it's still in the trial clinic. Is it that we say?
Yeah, clinical trial, yeah.
Clinical trial, thank you. I have to remember this because I always not say clinical.
We do things, clinical trials.
Trial, okay. Then the clinical trial, it was still in phase 3, and this is a fact. It's not conspiracy. It was available on the website of Pfizer. Then what I was just saying, because it's a new technology never used in the general population, and because it's still in phase 3, the government are lying. It's just this, like it's 1 + 1, it's still 2. Then the government are lying when they said it's vaccine safe and effective. You cannot say this when it's experimental. One of my clients in medical malpractice get a very bad error from a physician, and what it saved his life because he was totally dying. It's in the university hospital. They offer him an experimental protocol, an experimental medicine, like drug, and he has to receive all the information. Even he was dying. Oh, I'm dying. I just want the pills. I'm dying seriously, and it was very terrible, his life. But the physician give all the information, all the risk before he take the experimental pills, meaning, and he saved his life, meaning I'm not against experimental stuff. I'm just saying, if you are you are lying, you cannot have informed consent. And
that's the point, right?
This, you are lying. It's terrible. Then when it's begin, in spring to 2021, they begin to talk about to inject very beautiful and healthy kids. All the kids, in a way, it's at that time I began to say crime against humanity. Because I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. Well, it's nonsense what you are doing. Then
you hit on a few points there. Sorry to interrupt. Like a couple of points that the difference there, like the definitions that people use calling things a vaccine. They're using that to apply to something that it never applied to before. And that thing you just said, the informed consent, is the very, very important thing to hit on. He took that experimental drug, but he was given the information, the true information that was available when he made a decision based, he made an informed decision. So that's a hugely important thing. How people can say that that
Yes, right.
something that's untested is safe and effective if it hasn't been tested. It's impossible to say that.
Exactly. And if you didn't have the information and you receive as elect representative, like as member of parliament, if as prime minister, if you didn't have the information because you are completely incompetent and silly, but no, I'm sorry, I should not say this, but I'm sorry, it's because I don't have respect for now for Justin Trudeau. I'm sorry.
Yeah, moi non plus. Me neither.
Moi non plus.
Yeah.
And then I don't know why he's still there. Then don't ask me this question. Then if you don't have the information as prime minister and president and like our member of parliament, okay, they are all there to talk. The only one talk about this is Derek Sloan, and they take off like now, like Leslie Lewis, like she's great. Like I'm not saying that there is not great stuff are doing, because I want to like say great to people are doing great thing now, even like they failed before, but even they failed before. But at that time, like as member parliament in Canada, it was just Derek Sloan talk, and they get off from the conservative caucus. I'm not against the conservative, because I think it's the way to not have any more Trudeau. But it's like all the other never talk, and except Derek Sloan. And what I'm saying, it's not just the prime minister or the president in the world they have to talk, or the queen or the king. It's all member of parliament have to say, as soon they receive new information, that if you say, oh, I offer a vaccine, like I thought it was a safe and effective vaccine, but I received information that it's not so safe, you have to be on board to have to be able to have the intellectual honestly to say, oh, I didn't know, I'm sorry, people, human being, I'm there for you. Then it is sure that sorry for my error, but we are all human. I'm very like to do like a sincere amend, and okay, I'm sorry, but it's not this. Like I have the proof that in 6th of July 2021, July 6, 2021, all the senator, the MP in France received information, all, and it's a official document and on internet in July 6, 2021, that there is information about myocarditis and everything. And like they are like all of these elected, nearly 1,000 people in France receive this information. Nobody talk. Like it's scandalous. It's scandalous. I don't know how to say this.
Yeah, scandalous. Scandalous.
Yeah. Then finally, they sue me. They sue me in disciplinary. The second disciplinary, it was about my words in about the experimental injection, and I may say, when the Supreme Court filed on the first file, the same date, the July 8th of 2021. And sorry if I wrong in the date when I am in interview. I'm a bit at some time I did wrong. I give a wrong date, but I think I didn't do error as yet. Then everything I said in spring 2021, I will never regret in my life. I'm quite proud. I'm quite proud to stand up for people. But and they were tired in 2021. I never know, but they were tired that I still stand up. I never lay down. Like for me, if you are on the earth, you stand up. And if you are not stand up, it's because you are not. You don't want to live with your spiritual. Humanity. Like for me, if you are not stand up, you lack your life. For me, I'm not judging. I'm just saying stand up. If you lay down because you think that we fail in the trucker, we didn't fail. The trucker pushed down the plan for 18 months, but we have to continue.
And you've been doing this standing up, so to speak, for your whole career, right? For 20 years plus before they tried to suspend you. And so, what was the reason given for were you sued or suspended or disbarred? How did that happen?
Like the first, because I stand up, they decide to order me a psychiatric evaluation because I crime against humanity. But it was the two file disturbed them. The experimental injection with the words crime against humanity, and the other case is very important. Then I will talk about this now. Then it's about the Supreme Court, what they fail. This I explained already, I think, and I think I explained already this because it's my second interview Did I explain this case? No, I don't.
No, not in detail. Anyways,
not as yet. Then this is important. Then they order me a psychiatric examination on this two file because I was still stand up. Even they were suing me in ethic, like in disciplinary.
Okay.
Then they order me a psychiatric. Even the case on disciplinary case was not finished. I never had at that time the trial. They decide to we cannot go on trial with this because she has the proof. We will look silly. Then we will order a psychiatric examination. It is sure she don't want to lose her title because we will sell. It's an expression, okay? Don't take the words. We will sell our mother to keep our lawyer title. Then it's impossible. She will not do the psychiatric evaluation. And the physician, because the psychiatric physician, they are not allowed to talk against the experimental injection. They will probably be very happy to, they will be not necessarily happy, but they will be too scared to be in the truth. And as I said to the board, it's the board of director of the Bar of Quebec ordered me the psychiatric examination. I said, it's you, the jurist, it's you are able to read my expertise, like the Christine Coton expertise about the clinical trial that she has a 110 page of, it's available in English and in French. It's an expert in France that she's expert in clinical trials. She's a biostatistician. I had also other expertise, but this one is the main. And I convinced her in November 2021 to write her expertise. And this expertise I deposit at the Court of Appeal in January 2022 in the experimental injection file. And this expertise is upon the Pfizer document. I may send you in English the link. It's available in English and very interesting, but it's quite boring to read. Okay, she published a book in French to be more like accessible, and she will have soon English version of that book. Is better the book, and but I read the expertise is good, but it's very boring, like it's technical, and I deposit this expertise. This expertise never been since 2 years, never be opposed by nobody because it's on the Pfizer document. It's what does it mean?
Right from their own documents.
Exactly.
Pfizer,
Exactly. And this document, this expertise, what she said, Christine Coton, in my words, okay, I will use my words, what I translate what she said. It's a fraudulent clinical trial. She never seen a clinical trials with so many lack, and she January 2022 the expertise that I deposit at the Court of Appeal of Quebec, she was saying at that time that her conclusion then sorry, I'm losing my hearing. Oh man, sorry. Okay, I will be all right with just one. And sorry, merde, it's a shit.
Pull the other one out.
Sorry. And then she said in her expertise that the government asked to suspend the inoculation of the experimental injection now in January 2021, and it was upon the document because it lacked information and its lack of then I deposit this document and others expertise to the board of directors of the Bar of Quebec. the one order me in a psychiatric examination without hearing, without that I'm informed. And I deposited the 14 volume of proof the other file that I will talk like really soon. And I said, it's not the physician will read this document. It's judicial expertise and judicial procedure proof. Then it's you have the competence to read and to see, what she say. Even we are shocked that what she say, but she say the truth. It's not her shocked. It's the judicial system failed. Then they decide to protect the injustice. The board of director of Bar of Quebec, it's their problem. It's me. It's not my problem. And just after I do the trial, 4 days after I do 4 days, they may wait for this trial, but I didn't want. I reached the disciplinary trial. Then I did the trial, and what I was saying on my brief at the Supreme Court of Canada, it's the 20-page of brief. I deposit in French on a link that the people may take on my social network, but it's in French. But I deposit the words document. It's a number 5, English purpose, translation purpose. And you may, I deposit in the words in Word version or Word version. If a person want to put on Google and translate, I just don't want to be responsible of the translation for now. I don't have time. I do it on everything on my own. And then I bring that case at the disciplinary council, and the disciplinary council said disbar me on that case. I was disbarred for life on the examination, the psychiatric examination, but on the disciplinary, it was on for 8 years. Then I appeal, and at the appeal level, they reject my appeal without studying the proof, like at the preliminary step. And then I appeal a second time at the Superior Court of Quebec, and I receive a judgment of the judge Isabelle Germain. She failed the 3rd of January this year, 2024. January 3rd, sorry, I'm not used to in English. January 3rd, 2024. Then I bring this this file at the Court of Appeal, the March 11. It's that file Monday. But if you think more wide than just Gloriane Blais, it's more because everything what I do. If I wanted to get back my title as lawyer, I will not do. I will do other strategic. But in my art, I decide that I will use. It's a pretext. I will use my disciplinary case to come back at the Court of Appeal, the one failed 3 years ago, and it's not the same judge, and ask to the judge, do you permit me to appeal, then come back on that file on with my disciplinary, but it's the case, the same case that I present at the Supreme Court of Canada. If the judge, it's this we have to understand. If the judge, the March 11 or after, if the decision is taken on the bench or later, if the judge say yes to my request to permit permission to appeal, the judge will mean that Gloriane Blais, she has the proof that the judicial system, the Canadian judicial system, is not just Québécois, it's the Supreme Court of Canada, is the highest court. Then the Supreme Court of Canada, the judicial system fail to protect their friends judge who fail to protect the government, one of our government in Canada, the best country in the world, meaning this message, if a judge agree to Gloriane Blais, the March 11, it's mean judge, including Supreme Court of Canada judge at the time of July 8th. Some judge changed at Supreme Court. I'm not touching the new judge because they are not involved. But the judge were the July 8th, 2021 at Supreme Court. If the judge at the March 11 at the Court of Appeal of Quebec agree on my disciplinary file to permit me the appeal, but it's the same case, it's the same proof, it means that the Supreme Court of Canada and all the judge in Canada has to stand up for justice, has to follow the Constitution of Canada, because now the last 4 years about the COVID, it's not a COVID case, my case, but it's the same thing. It's a judicial system, judicial constitutional power failed front of a government, and the COVID is front of our government, and my case is from a government in Canada. And then this case bring the great opportunity that one judge at Court of Appeal of Quebec say to the Supreme Court of Canada, say to the Court of Appeal of Quebec, but say to all judges in Canada and what I feel around the Western countries, that it's enough. We choose to be judged, to follow, to burden to follow the Constitution of our country. If we are not able to do this because we are weak from the government, because we don't respect the separation of power, we don't respect the rule of law, we don't respect the obligation of impartiality, constitutional obligation of impartiality, then we have as judge to dismiss or to put, I don't know in French, I just say a joke at that time, to put, a piece of wood behind our back. We stick the woods to make sure that our back is straight. If you're not able to install properly, to be stand up, put a piece of wood like staple, poof, 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 or dismiss. I don't have pity for human being, take responsibility to protect human being, and they are failed because they are weak, because they are just thinking about their needles. Is it that? They are just thinking about their own pocket, about their own career. Just start your business. I'm not against to have a private business, but if you take a public or constitutional responsibility, just dismiss or stand up for the justice. And this, for me, the March of 11, it's not just for the case that I'm doing. And by the way, I have a mass ticket, and for my personal defense, I use just one defense. It's to abolish the El Public law. Then I'm doing this case because it's my personal ticket. I'm allowed to use my competence. Then it's not just for this file, it's for all the file for the justice. If you say, yes, but we do a file, for example, in Manitoba, and it's go well. Oh, yes, it go well. It's go well, but it's an illusion for now, because when it will be time for a judge to say the prime minister of my province of the country did the biggest error in the human history, what it will happen, the judge will just shit in his pants instead to give justice to the people. And this, the March of 11, is to, the situation since 4 years and more, it's the inverse value. Like my pen, it's inverse, it's not straight, it's inverse value, like the perverse, the great value, like the rainbow. It's beautiful rainbow, but when you use rainbow to say, in French, it's ça va bien aller, be safe, like it will be, then it's to control people and manipulate people. Then this is perverse, like the beautiful thing, like the beautiful value, the beautiful image. Then what happened, the March of 11, is the inverse value will change and repeat. This is big, and it will profit to all human beings in first Western country, because for totalitarian country like China, it will have an effect like later, but for now it will have an effect nearly instant, like now, instantaneously.
Particularly, I would think for the Commonwealth countries, right? So like England, Australia, countries that have a very similar legal systems to us and that are so connected to us, that would have an impact there, I guess, almost right away.
Yes, exactly. And do you know why? What I just realized yesterday? It's two things. The March 11 is 2 years ago. The WHO 2 years ago, March 11, 2020, declared the false pandemic. 2 years ago.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And it would be the March 11. And the March 11 this year, 2024, it's also the Commonwealth Day. I never see,
really?
when it's good. Then yes, I think it will have an impact on Commonwealth country, because even we are in Quebec province, and we have the civil code from Napoleon Code. Our procedure, how it's work in court, it's from English, like we have a debate, opposite debate, like England, like the other
like the adversarial system. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Then yes, it will have a huge impact if the judge follow his art, then because the courage start from the art, and the courage is necessary for integrity. I'm not promising that it will work, but I feel it that we may have hope. And if we don't want to have hope, never, because we were so deceived, then you abandon in English, what is it?
Yeah, same, abandon.
Yeah, but then if we don't want to, I'm not saying to have hope on any illusion, but if you don't want to enter in hope, because I'm not talking you, Chris, I'm talking like to everybody.
The royal you.
If we don't want to have never hope, like even like we feel that it may work, but then because you don't want to be deceived, but it's your children, and the future of the children will be very deceived of you. We have to take risk to be deceived, to be in action, and to be in solution mode, then to risk to be deceived. We have to accept to take risk. The Prime Minister tell us to stop to take risk, to be safe, to be locked down, to be confined, and to stay home. This is not life. Life is take risk.
Yeah, and we should be able to choose an informed choice, but we should be able to choose which risks and how we do that with the right information. And
exactly.
like earlier.
Oops, I'm losing
lost you for a sec. I think we're good. You were saying a bit earlier, you might approach this differently if you were doing it just for Gloriane, or trying to get your license back or whatever. You're trying to do this to make the biggest difference for the most people, I guess, right?
Yes, because if I would love to just stay, because why I let my title get this bar, it's for me, there is no value to be lawyer in a judicial system that fail when there is a question about government. For me, if the judicial system fail, I have to try to stand up the judicial system and not to protect myself. This is my value. Then when I decide to use my mass ticket, by example, and to deposit a motion at the court to ask the court to declare unconstitutional the public health law, this is another file, okay, that I'm doing. This will not help me to get my title back, like to continue, to think about human being. But for me, it's important that we go fast because I think if we to go fast, like the society go fast to stand up and to take some action, because if we just lay down, their plan will go very fast. And what the trucker like, and a lot of citizens peacefully did in Ottawa. It was so great. And yes, you stand up, but if after you were deceived because you said, oh, ben, we did this for nothing, it's not for nothing. What I feel inside it, you take back for 18, their plan for 18 months, meaning that it helped us to take other action during that time. Then what the trucker did in the human being stand up in Ottawa, it's bring really it was very an important action, and you have to understand this, because if you don't understand this, you will always be, oh, we did this for nothing. Then you will not stand up again. You have to stand up. Even it's not just about if you are wake up or not. Now most of people are wake up. It's, do you want to stand up? It's just, do you want to stand up? It's the point.
Yeah, and I mean, like you say, I mean, it shouldn't be lost on people that mandates started dropping almost immediately after the truckers arrived, and that spark that was lit there, it spread across the world. And you know, that did end back then, but the what was started there is still ongoing. People like you and other legal cases we've seen recently, it's still, the work is still very much going. With the legal process, it's not as quick and as exciting maybe as some people would like it to be. But it's really important that that we try to work through these systems that did at one point, I think, work properly, and that weren't completely corrupted. I don't think they're completely corrupted now. There's definitely some corruption, but I think that there's still need to be in place and are worth saving. So if people that know how to navigate this kind of thing can take the time, and like you are willing to take the risk to do it, I think that's hugely important. Because for a layperson like me, I don't know the law. I wouldn't even know how to begin doing any of this stuff. But you having that past, even though you're just a citizen now, you still have all that expertise and experience that you can bring to bear, trying to move forward with this stuff. And actually, this is maybe, you know, a way to do it that you wouldn't have done otherwise, right? So it's bringing in some new, opening some different doorways or avenues to try to solve some of these issues, hopefully.
And for me, actually, even they are not all corrupt, the judge, they fail because they lack of courage. And if you say yes, but Justice Mosley at the federal court, like, give us a very great judgment about the invocation of the Emergency Act. I understand, it's great, I applaud, but it was so stunning that this invocation, it was so clear that the invocation of the Emergency Act was illegal. Even the Canadian Senate never signed this. It's for that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because
I mean, it was clear to everyone. It was clear to everyone, layperson. Or, I mean, you can read what the standards are to that act, and none of it was met. And like you say, the Senate voted it down.
Except for the ex-judge Rouleau, did the commission Rouleau, I think it's this name, nominated from Justin Trudeau. Then he said that he was not sure it was illegal, the invocation, but meaning, like, it was, as you said, so clear that this doesn't mean that just the judge are enough courageous. It's great what he did, Justice Mosley, and we applaud, and he will be in the history of Canada, but it's not enough to bring the case of COVID and the experimental shoot. And yes, it's important to remember that the trucker in Ottawa, what it started me, I'm not working on the mandate because the informed consent was not there. Then it's like it's illegal anyway. But about the mandate, we have to remember, as you said, the trucker in Ottawa, first, what it started this, it's because the transborder trucker was, it was a mandatory from Justin Trudeau to receive an inoculation of experimental injection. It's, if you don't understand that it's terrible, it's because you don't know the law, or you are not open mind to have an impartiality when you evaluate a situation. But the things, it's this start Ottawa convoy, and when and Justin Trudeau never agreed to meet the trans-border trucker to say, okay, maybe I did an error, but now it's so great, Justin Trudeau. I don't believe this, but meaning like it's terrible. Then it's this start, and what everybody that I know went to Ottawa, bunch of people that I know, all of them said, Gloriane, they said at the media mainstream that there is violence there is no violence at all. It's so high about love, like it's so high in energy in Ottawa during the trucker demonstration and citizen demonstration. Then it's so peaceful. Then every shit that the mainstream media were talking about the convoy, Ottawa convoy, it was false. Then when they are talking about a false pandemia, false safe and effective vaccine, false violence from the convoy in Ottawa, but we have to understand that it's not the media, the mainstream media will help us to understand the situation. It's for that we have to meet each other, like me and Chris, they say, to be able to understand what's going on and to be able to be in solution, because it's important to criticize, to analyze, but after it's important to be in solution mode, to have action that it would change something. And it's this we are doing today.
Yeah, and I'm so glad. I mean, so glad that people like you are doing this. And it was that mainstream media and those lies that got me into doing this in the first place. This isn't something I really thought I would ever do or plan to do or would continue to do. But with the constant lies and the lack of information there, and me being in Ottawa, it's just something I felt I needed to do. I couldn't just stand by and listen to the lies during the convoy, so I went out in person and started to see it for myself. And ever since, I've just been doing the same thing, really. So I'm just so glad that there's people like you. It's often like we've made some connections. I met a lot of people from Quebec, and I've got some really good friends from Quebec now. But there's still a lack of information and exchange of information. I mean, there is a little bit of a language barrier, but Quebec sometimes is like an island in Canada, and hopefully with with these connections,
it's an illness mental jail. Quebec province. I love Quebecois. I love Quebecers, but because the barrier, like in Europe, the French from France or all around Europe, they learn English, they learn Italian, they learn other language. It's possible for kids to learn 2-3 language, and it's not meaning that we lose our great language, because I love French language. It's a language that it's for poetry, precise.
It's a romance language.
Yeah, but like because they stopped to teach English like during many years properly in Quebec, it's bring that during all the 4 years people were not understanding what's going on in English Canada and in USA, meaning that people in other part of the world they are not afraid. They are going to big stadium without mask. This stuff, like English Canada, we're looking about like what's going on in USA and like in the other province, but in Quebec province, we were like in a mental illness jail, and I love Quebecois. I'm just saying that I hope a Quebec better and a Quebec stand up, a Quebec choose to be a human being proud of themselves. And thank you very much for your invitation. I appreciate a lot to be received, and I didn't know you, but what I can see, it's you are so humble. And if some elect MP will be inspired for you, have the humility that you have and the intellectual honesty that you have, we will be in a better world, and we are going there.
Oh, goodness. You're gonna make me blush. I appreciate that. I kind of just try to be me. I put myself out there, and that's important, right? Like, I think part of the reason I did develop a following is because I'm just me. I'm genuine. I say what I think, and I say what I think needs to be said. People don't always like it, but I think it's important to be me. So, thank you very much.
You are very great. You are an authentic human being.
Yeah, well, thank you. Merci beaucoup. So as far as your course or your case coming up on the 11th, what do people know and or need to know, and what can they do to maybe help and spread information or support you come the 11th?
The March of 11, if you can come at because even it's at the Court of Appeal, it's at the Quebec courthouse at Quebec City, and it's just beside the bus station and the train station. And also there is, I'm saying, like, if there is a person are interested, because justice is important, and it's about for all Canadians. There is also an international airport in Quebec City, and you may take the taxi to go to the Quebec courthouse.
It's a beautiful city too. For anyone that's never been, it's an absolutely gorgeous city. Make a little trip of it. You won't regret it for sure.
Yeah, like it is sure Quebec courthouse. It is not in the old town, but just beside it is the old town. Then you enter in France or in European country, and it's pleasant. And we are not in the busy time. And then the rate, if you want to come to sleep, there is a hotel. The nearest hotel, it's called Hotel Pure, PUR. It's in the Marriott Hotel, but it's PUR. It's the nearest. It's 10 minutes walk from the Quebec courthouse, and it's 10 minutes walk from the train and the bus station. But you may take a taxi if you have a wallet. And this Monday, my hearing will begin around the 10:30, but invite people at reach at 9 o'clock, because to make sure that everybody are together, and we want a peaceful demonstration. We don't want violence, and there is two reasons. It's we want to not give us as cattle to violent police. But I don't think the police will be violent, because they know me. They know me a lot, and they know me that I'm not against nobody. I'm for their kids,
for the people.
Yeah, and everyone, even the kids of the judge, and the grandkids. And also it's important to be peaceful, because if we want to inspire the judge to be courageous, if you are in the violence, they will scare, and they just want to be they will just want to come back in their comfort situation, and the comfort situation is just to fail, because I ask very grandiose, courageous decision, and this need to be in love, needs to be in a peaceful. Then I'm asking to be in solution mode. It's to be peaceful. And usually during my hearing, I don't talk and I don't hug people before my hearing, because I want to keep concentrate. People know they are used to come, but with me and my hearing. But I'm telling again, don't touch me, don't take picture of me, please, because now the March 11th, I'm not asking to take a step as in February. I'm asking to take all the escalier. What is it? Escalator?
Stairs. Staircase. Stairs? Or staircase?
Yeah, it's not just one step. I asking.
Yeah, the whole staircase.
Yes, then I risk. I'm delivered to risk my life now. Then it's not time to. I need compassion. Like, it's not time to reach. She's a star. I'm not a star. I'm just a normal human being. I have 2 young kids. They need me. I have to take care of my life. And then I will enter. I don't want to be touched. I don't want that people come to talk to me, and I don't want to take a picture. And after the hearing, I will feel I'm very strong in my inner voice. I will feel what is the situation. If I feel to leave, I feel to leave. And don't be deceived. I love human being. I love you. I'm doing this because I love you, but I have to love me too. and because we cannot love
Yeah,
the other.
it's important to protect your own energy and your mental state, and this is something hugely important you're doing. So you need to be in the right mindset to do it. That's good that
Exactly.
people know that, to not take it personal. And you hit on something important there. I mean, not only, I mean, we've always been peaceful, but if people are coming to support, we want, I would imagine you want, a clear message. You don't want all kinds of screaming and yelling and people talking about 100 different things. This is a very specific thing
Exactly.
you're doing. So hopefully, if people do want to show their support, they can do so respectfully and try to keep on the one topic instead of 100 different things that people. I know there's a lot of problems out there, but on that day, hopefully people can focus on this one issue and just give you the gracious support that you deserve.
And if I'm just inform you that I sacrifice and I choose this to sacrifice my career because I wanted to continue to stand up. I sacrifice out of my financial situation. I don't pay my mortgage loans on where I live since 1 year and a half, but I continue to live there because it bring me protection, physical protection, and I have to protect myself and my kids. And then also I haven't touched my health. I had a surgery 1 year ago about my vesicle biliaire in French, and meaning then I did everything to keep stand up for the people, to bring that big file where it has to be in the March of 11. But if you don't believe on my honesty, it's because you will never believe on humanity in yourself and from the other. But if you believe on my honesty, I'm asking if you can to give me back a bit what I give to people, even like whatever what's happened the March of 11. We will know the situation. If it's work, it's grandiose. If it's doesn't work, it's magnificent. If it's work, if it doesn't work, we will know that now we have to not follow the illusion that there is a judicial system, and we will have to do like the French in France Revolution. I will not never agree to be submit to be in peaceful situation. It's not a peaceful, social peaceful situation. If the human has to be submit to be in peaceful, then it's in France, it's ça passe ou ça casse.
There's nothing peaceful about tyranny, about being tyrannized or subjugated.
Exactly.
That's not peaceful at all. And is there
then about the donation, if there is
yeah,
some
that's what I was gonna ask.
people,
Yeah.
if there is I know a lot of people ask donation, but believe me, I was not in a show. Was not searching this, but I give everything to bring that gold file in one of the court of appeal in Canada. It's really great. And if you don't understand the file now and you say, oh, I understand like 5 days after or after the judgment, it's okay. I'm not judging. I'm just saying when you will feel it, if you can send me an amount, I will really appreciate to continue my life, even I sacrifice everything for the love
how
of
can
the people.
how can people if they people that do want to help and donate, how can they do that? Is there an
I
email
have
transfer?
a give and go. I know I have also a
I can share that
GoFundMe.
after too. So
Yeah,
if you
I
send
have
me that
a
information, I'll
Interact.
make sure that I do that.
Yeah, and I have also a mail address, a postal box. Then thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chris. And I hope I will see you soon. Do you think you will come the March 11? I don't know if it's your
Yeah,
situation.
it's coming soon. It's possible. I can't say either way yet. If I can, I will. But I'll definitely, if I can't, it will be. I'll be here in Ottawa. Maybe go down to the Supreme Court and just stand and at least show my support that way.
Oh, wow.
I will try to see if I can come. I'll see. I can't guarantee now, but I'll do my best. It's pretty important, and I'm just so happy to talk to you. And I
Robert
can't believe I didn't know more
Dorion,
about your story here. It's quite a wild
Robert
story. I mean,
Dorion, yeah, Robert Dorion in from Quebec, but he's in Gatineau. He's coming. Maybe if you want to
okay, yeah,
reach
okay.
him.
I believe I have his. I've talked to him a few times. I might even have his number, so I could
He's
reach out to him. We could talk.
incredible. And if you come, maybe I will stop my network probably this weekend to rest. And if you come, if you can say to Stéphane Sivigny, the one you met in Ottawa, I will appreciate because I would love to know if you are coming. seriously, but I'm not
Yeah,
saying
for sure.
that we'll
Yeah.
see each other, but I think it's the first person I would like to hug if I can hug.
Yeah, parfait. Well, merci beaucoup. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for standing up for all of us. And maybe if you could send me some links to different information, so the people who do want to read through this or whatever, we can
Okay,
make sure
yeah.
we share all that out as well. But that's awesome. It was a pleasure to talk to you, and I'll let you know if I'm able to make it down.
Great. Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you very
merci
much for
beaucoup.
your
Okay,
listening. Bye.
thank you, thank you. All right, there you have it. So that went okay. New technology. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of information there. Please share this out far and wide, especially to my English speaking followers and people that are maybe farther west. There's a lot of people like myself. I'm in Ottawa. I'm close to Quebec, but this was a story that wasn't really even on my radar till recently. So for anyone that can, please share this out and try to get this message out. Once I get some more of the meat and potatoes there and the links to different things about this case, I'll try to post it in the description and make a post about that. And I will have more updates coming, I guess, beforehand and after the 11th. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining. Stacy from Ottawa out.